Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? This your boy Rob Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Oh yeah, today is Tuesday, April 19th, April 16th, 2019. And we just gonna go right off into this video. But before I do, I must tell everybody I thank you all for your support. Those of you all are subscribed, I'm asking you all to share our page. If you like the content that we put out, and you know some other people, your family, friends, who you know might find this content interesting, whether they may agree with it or not, you know, share our page with them and ask them to subscribe. Make sure that you subscribe, because we noticed that a lot of our subscribers have been unsubscribed from our page, and a lot of times YouTube do that due to the nature of the content that I talk about. Because like in this little video here, I'm gonna talk about some serious issues. I'm gonna talk about 4 different issues, but I'm gonna tie it all up into one issue, and that's the empowerment and advancement of Black Americans. Now, here at the Real News Behind the News, we're not anti-Semitic. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Although we do talk about the Israeli government, that's where our beef lies. It's not so much with Jewish people, although we do have our views on those who call themselves the Jews over there in Israel. But we're not anti-Semitic at all. We're not racist at all. Anybody that knows us know me. And they know what we do here at the Real News Behind News. But with that being said, we want to go off into the first thing we want to talk about is the fire at the Notre Dame Cathedral. Oh man, you hate to see such a beautiful building, you know, so much history behind it, burned down like that. You hate to see it. But we must ask a question. Well, you know me, I ask all kind of questions. And I'm like, do you think God was showing the Catholic Church something for all them children that might have been molested in that church? Do you think he might have been showing them something for all the people who was persecuted as a result of the practices and teachings of that church? Now, I'm not saying that Notre Dame is indicative of that, but come on, this is a Catholic church, and we know that the Catholic Church is responsible for some of the most grossest crimes against humanity that there ever was, whether it be in the pedophilia and child molestation, or the Spanish Inquisition, the Crusades, you know, just a blatant slaughter of millions of people throughout history. So why should I give a crap about that church way over in France, when right here in Louisiana, you recently had a police officer had to turn his son in because he had burnt down 3 black churches in 10 days. Burnt down 3 black churches here in Louisiana, but they steadily showing me something over in France. So I guess they trying to stroke spiritual emotions or religious emotions. But me, myself, I don't do religion. I'm a spiritual person, man. I don't get off into this Christianity, Judaism, Islam. I really don't get off into Democrat, Republican, Christian, conservative, liberal. I don't get off into none of that, because as human beings, once you label yourself or affiliate yourself with one of those titles, you have become a problem. You have become basically a tool of the system, because now you have joined a tribe. And you cause division just by the very nature of you choosing one of these titles. So we don't do titles. And, you know, especially black people. Again, I'm not saying don't have any sympathy, but why should we care about that church way over there when they literally bombed our churches here? You know what I'm saying? They run up into our churches shooting. But we supposed to care about a church way over in France. And again, you had a 21-year-old white dude here in southern Louisiana, went around and burnt up 3 black churches. Over the last 20 days, he burnt up 3 black churches, and his dad had to turn him in. So that leads us to our second point. Where does religion fit in with black people? Does it help us or does it hurt us? You know, it's like, how can we come together as black people when we can't even come together and understand that religion is being used to divide us? Come on, think about it. How many religions you got running around here right now, just in the black community alone? You got Pentecostal Baptist, Southern Baptist, Baptist Fried Baptist, Chicken Fried Baptist. You got the Muslims, the FOI. You got all these religions. Then you got them Jehovah's Witnesses. They be like a gang, though. They be coming to your house early Saturday morning, man, asking, questions. Do you know who Jehovah is? And I be like, ain't that dude that work up the street at the Chevron? And they hurry up and, walk on off. But I mean, I don't put people's religious beliefs down. I just feel that religion is a tool that is used to hold a group of people enslaved to those who teaches them those religious philosophies and ideologies. Henceforth, how you gonna tell me that if I do everything that somebody wrote in the book, told me that God said he told them to write it in that book. Now, if I do everything in that book, you know what I'm saying, I'll go to heaven. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't do what you say this man here told you to tell me to do, I'm going to hell. That's a form of control, ain't it? You see what I'm saying? I understand the concept of evil and good, but come on now. I mean, you mean to tell me that this man told you, God told you to tell me that I got to give him 10% of my paycheck every Sunday. Wait a minute. And in order for him to get it, I got to give it to you so you can give it to him for me. What's the matter? Don't he trust me? Wait a minute. This God you teaching me must be very financially irresponsible because he got tens of thousands of churches around America alone. And every Sunday he asking everybody that come into one of them churches for some money. Man, I'm broke. So we ask again, what part does religion play in all this propaganda that we're seeing? They want to desensitize you to the Christian issue and basically incite you against the Muslims. Again, you look at what's going on with Representative Umar, the Muslim lady, who she's in the House of Representatives, I think, but she's a Muslim, and she made some true statements when she mentioned Israel controls your government. Now, the Israeli government controls the government here in America. Everything she said was on point. Then Donald Trump comes back the other day, I think day before yesterday, something over the weekend or whatever, and he makes his little sly comments, basically telling the woman that, she better off dead. You know what I'm saying? Then your media takes her words totally misconstrued and shows you all a soundbite totally out of context and makes it seem like she's the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? But what did she tell you? She said these politicians are in the pockets of the Israelis. The Israelis control your politicians. Now, guess what? When Donald Trump made his comments, guess what he was? He was speaking in front of a Jewish lobbying group. So, again, we have to ask questions as black people. How does the Jewish religion get a chance to scream Holocaust, 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 and our government gives them tens upon billions of dollars, man, every year? Believe it or not, remember when they was trying to, when they shut the government down here in America? This year, they was arguing in the House of Representatives or whatever. They was sitting here arguing over $5 billion Donald Trump wanted to build a wall, right? All right, guess what? At the same time, they shut our government down behind allegedly $5 billion. They were drafting bills and trying to pass a law that would allow them to give Israel $30 billion. So wait a minute, you mean to tell me you shut our government down here? Your citizens went without paychecks here in America. All the while, you showing us the shutdown, but behind the scenes, you all are crafting a bill to give Israel $30 billion. And not only that, pushing another bill to take away our right to speak against Israel. Our right to, you're trying to take away our right to boycott Israel. So let me ask you a question. Why is it again that they can scream Holocaust, 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 get tens of billions of dollars, but when we as black folks say anything about slavery, Jim Crow, sharecropping, and now the private prison system, we're told, oh, shut up, Negroes, there's nothing to see here. That happened a long, long time ago, and we're not responsible. Bull crap. Think about it. Y'all excuse me, I'm sweating, man. Let me let this window down a little bit more. I'm trying to keep that noise out of here. But let me break it down to you. You're telling us that it was such a long time ago. But first and foremost, my mother, who's still alive, just 50 years ago here in Shreveport, could not drink out the same water fountain as white people. And that's just 50 years ago. Now, you telling me we got to forget all that, but yet and still, those people who claim to be Jews over there in Israel can say the Holocaust and get tens of billions and billions of dollars made. And guess what? They getting this money for something that nobody in America, y'all try to say that we wasn't allowed to do that, we didn't have nothing to do with it, but guess what? America had nothing to do with the Holocaust. So why are you paying reparations to the Jews? And we get told to shut up. See, that's the difference. They control the media. They control the narrative. They control the story. That's why what we do at the Real News Behind the News is try to give you a different way of thinking. One more quick thing I want to talk about. Just recently here in Louisiana, a high court said that the Daughters of Confederation could not stop the Caddo Parish Commission from taking a statue down. See, downtown Shreveport, we got a Confederate statue right there at Texas Street, right in the center of downtown in front of the courthouse. Now, a lot of people find it offensive. I look at it as a monument. But I'm going to show you game. Again, you got to understand what they're doing, because in a lot of your children's public education curriculum, they're teaching your children in schools now that these black folks were really indentured service. They just came over here and they rented themselves out to a lot of cotton owners, and they worked for them, and the cotton owners gave them food, they gave them clothing, and eventually they let them go free. This is what they teaching your kids in school. Now guess what happens when you take down these monuments? You take down the monuments along with the psychological propaganda that they're putting into your children's mind. 25 years from now, you're going to have a generation that never knew slavery existed here in America. They're whitewashing slavery as if it was just a bunch of Negroes come over here and they wanted a better life, and they worked hard and hard all day long. They sung pretty songs all day while they was working in them hot-ass fields. They was just content to work off their debt that never was able to be paid off. See, now guess what? When you take them physical monuments down, there's nothing to remind them physically. Now you indoctrinate them psychologically with propaganda that slavery wasn't that bad. Again, you're going to have a generation that never knew slavery existed. You want to know a recent example of that?